We're going to talk a little bit about some hat shaping today. My name is Kevin from JJ Hat Center. Shaping hats at JJ's in New York for 25 years. It's a very old shop, over 100 years old. And I'm there 25. I was at a different place before that for 9 years that had Stetson hats and stuff. So I can shape hats, safe to say. The channel is called Hats and Guitars, so let's get started, alright? Let me show you a few things today. I'll play a little music first, and you're welcome to hit fast forward if you don't feel like listening to it. We've got a good hat lecture afterwards, okay? Battles rage below. See the soldiers come and go. There's another flag beside me. Someone planted long ago. Oh, Paris standing stiffly, losing white. I see all of Southeast Asia. I see South I hear the cries of children. The other song of war is like a mighty melody that rings out from the sky. All roll by, still no one else to do. Lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. Oh, a lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. One by one, I hear a cry of victory. Another tough defeat. A scrap of age or lullaby down some forgotten street. Standing on the moon, talk is cheap and vision's true. Somewhere in San Francisco, on the back porch of the line, just looking at heaven like this, in the sky, standing in the moon, nothing left to do. Lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. Oh, So, hey. Oh, I think my neighbors are beefing next door. You want to listen? Listen. Mr. Softy, too. Yeah, my neighbors on the other side of this wall are always beefing, like screaming. The man, the lady, the kid, like constantly screaming. It's like, it's crazy. I think the quarantine is getting to a lot of families, like people who spend like 4 or 5 hours together in the past are now spending like 24 hours together, and they don't like it when they can't handle it or something. With some people, it's like a learning kind of a thing, you know, you work out all the kinks in your relationship, and you get more time with your children, and you get to show them all the little things they've been screwing up on and all the little things you've been screwing up on, and everybody kind of like has a little conflict. You get together and apologize, and you say, let's do it better, and the next day you do it better. So that's kind of like the way we are. We have like one of those families, you know, where we're kind of like very open. We don't really fight that much and stuff. I don't think we really fight, but you know, it's been an experience where we're spending more time with each other than we'll ever do probably in our whole lives. So I look at that as a blessed thing. Very, very lucky thing. I have a lot of gratitude for that. The fact that I'm spending every day and every night with my wife, my beautiful wife and my beautiful son, whom I love very much. I've got a lot of gratitude. So sorry if I butchered that that song. The lyrics, I guess that's what's important. There's amazing Robert Hunter lyrics. So let's talk a little bit about some stuff today. I want to talk a little bit about our hats, because this is a hat channel and stuff. Even though there's so many turbulent things going on in our world today, I think it's okay to keep it light sometimes. You know, that's what the internet is for. It's for bringing people together. It's also for information, keeping people informed, and it's for relaxing, letting off steam, like a Broadway show or a rock concert or anything else. Right now you can't go to Broadway shows, you can't go to rock concerts. So I would guess things like YouTube are probably very big. You know, like the Conan O'Brien show is like pretty much all on YouTube now. It's just like, you know, he interviews celebrities at their homes through Zoom and stuff, and that's his show. Because you can't just take off a week or two. You know, it's like 3 months or something this has been going on. You know, like a week or two might work, but, you know, when it turns into like 3-4 months, that's, you know, a good chunk of a year. They have to actually change their show from, you know, grouped together in a TV studio to a different way, working remotely and this and that. So I think this provides a very valuable service. Me, I've definitely been able to survive this quarantine. Internet. Could you imagine if the internet was off? Oh my God, I've been watching all these movies. Great old movie, if you haven't seen it, Screaming Skull. The Screaming Skull, very good. It's a good old haunted movie. Incredible beginning. They give you, I think, some insurance in case you get too scared and you die. I think they give you like funeral insurance, you know, at the movies. It's really funny. But it's like an old 50s, you know, B-movie or something, and it's really good. Well acted, I think. Part of Mickey was really well acted. So yeah, check out The Screaming Skull. There's a couple of nice dubs. So I've been watching a lot of internet. That's one. Number two I can't talk about on YouTube. Number three, I think creativity and working on my music, working on playing guitar, working on my videos, all of this stuff, working on thumbnails and titles and new things for my YouTube, you know, all the stuff I've been doing. I've been working on a weird kind of a country band thing, like Elvis songs and, you know, things like that, Merle Haggard and some music things on my garage band. So I've just been recording, and I don't even know who's going to sing it, if it's going to be me or my friend Scott maybe or something. but I've also learned a whole bunch of Hank Williams songs, so now I know about 15 Hank Williams songs, so we could do a few of those. I should start singing some of those. There was a guy yesterday that was complaining about, well, he wasn't really complaining. He left a comment basically saying, awesome video, but I had to suffer through 5 minutes of noisy, horrible guitar. So I get it, I totally get it. Not everybody is into my guitar playing, and my guitar playing is not always fantastic. A lot of times I don't do songs, whole songs, and I don't do entertaining songs. For most people, I do things that are indulgent and that I like to do. I noodle and stuff. So I'm working on that. I'm going to try to do a lot more songs and try to do a lot more singing too. I basically went in and I learned like 15 Hank Williams songs. Like I know a lot of them. Lonesome Blues, Hey Good Looking, Cold Cold Heart, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, Elijah, Jambalaya, a whole bunch of them, Your Cheating Heart. So I know pretty much, a good amount of country music. So I get to start. Okay, so here's the story. I'm going off a different tangent now. This fellow, I'm not going to say who it was, but it was okay. He didn't leave an abusive comment, but he left an honest comment. And what he said was basically, awesome video, exclamation point. But I had to, too bad I had to suffer through, a whole bunch of noisy guitar to get to the main feature. Now, I can get that. The main reason why I play guitar on these things is A, to keep me interested. You have to understand that these speeches that I give about, hat care and choosing hats and all that stuff, they're like, sort of like rhetoric. There are these little lines that I've been repeating over and over every single day as I sell hats at the hat shop. So it's basically what I say over and over. And although I say it with feeling, when a lot of times it's kind of like me just reading the whole script because I know I got to tell them everything. So it's like I'm just reciting it, So it become kind of boring for me. Just telling you guys hat facts is not always the most inspiring thing for me. So if I have an interesting guitar introduction before it, it keeps me inspired, and that's the truth. It keeps me going and stuff. I also figured that if I'm enjoying, talking about gear and showing, my interesting acquisitions, my guitars and stuff, the different pickups and everything, there might be some other nerds out there who, don't only nerd out on hats, who also nerd out on guitar gear too, which is really cool. This is Reverend and stuff. It's a limited edition anniversary, and in this green color, there were only 8 pieces made ever in the world. This green sparkle with the Bigsby like that. It's a anniversary model. You can see there's a plaque there, anniversary plaque. Okay, you can see that 8 of 8. So this is the very last one they made. There's a signature of the guy in America who, set it up, adjusted everything. Locking tuners. These are locks. So after I tune the guitar, I turn this righty tighty, lefty loosey. Wait a minute, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Huh. This one is okay. Yeah. It's righty tighty when I'm upside down. Okay. I'm doing it upside down. Okay. So they're all lefty right now. So those are locked down. I clamp them down. It's a great instrument. It's very interesting. So there's another tangent. Go back to the fork in the road. Okay. The thing is, I geek out of this stuff, over this stuff like crazy. I'm up all night just looking at reverb.com and looking at all the different Reverend models they make and all the different vintage guitars and the weird Soviet guitars they sell for $100 and the communist Czech guitars they make for $100 and the weird pawn shop Japanese guitars and the Ks and the Jupiters and all those cool like 50s guitars. I look at 1967 ES 335s in sparkling burgundy, because that's my favorite color, and I had a 67 and sold it like an idiot. It's like a candy apple red. It's like a clear red over gold sparkle flake. So from the 60s, when they wear it out, when they start wearing out parts of the red, inside is gold. So it starts to get this caramel apple goldness in certain spots, like candy apple red with gold flake peeking through. It's so amazing. So look at a 1967 ES, Gibson ES-335 in sparkling burgundy. It has to be that color, not red or anything else, you know, heritage red. It must be sparkling, but that's the guitar I want to get. It's expensive, and I can't afford it right now, but I do still want it. There's a bunch of other guitars I still want. There's an amplifier I want. It's an old Plexi model that I used to have. It's a Marshall 19... Okay, I'm not even going to start getting into my gear now, so I'm tangenting again. The point is, people who geek out over this stuff might be like me and like that. So I'm trying to give a little hats and a little guitars. Today, we're going to just talk about whatever we're going to talk about. We might do a little hat shaping too. Let's get some hats and do a little shaping for you, okay? Hold on, let me get one behind. I don't want to work on this black hat. Black can be a little difficult sometimes. Alright, so I have two of these black Borsalinos, the short brim ones, and then I have two of these taupe Borsalinos also. So, if you were wondering, there are four of these. And they've been here for like 20 years or more. I don't know, between 17 and like 22 years or 23 years old. I used to get one all the time. They're beat up, and I like that. I'm going to do some hat shaping today too. Alright. The easiest way to make a center crease from an open crown. Do you know how to do that, guys? Open crown is this. It's just dome, like, if you don't know. Now, if you don't know how to crease it, you know, there's a certain way to kind of do it. What I like to do is, you know, of course, you make sure everything's open, you know, as neat as you can. Let me see, maybe this is better, this hat. Yeah, it's got a nice round crown to it. Well, a bit rounder, big teardrop and stuff too. Now, how's this one? Yeah, okay, that's the best one. Alright. If I want to make a center crease, the first thing I do is I find the bullseye. The bullseye, I want the hat to be horizontal. Front of the hat, back of the hat. In other words, if it's on a table like this, I'm looking at it horizontally. I don't want it to be this way like my hat, I want it to be horizontal, okay? So, the long way is this way, okay? Now, what you do is you find the bullseye, the center, okay? You get to poke your finger down and kind of make that bullseye like that, push down, and then go out. Okay, and when you get to those ends and you're pressing down, it stops. It's like you can't really push more unless you're pressing, you know, a lot of pressure, which is, you know, you're not going to be doing that. So in other words, it's all sort of automatic. You start in the middle, down and out, and then it kind of stops right there. Then what you do is you pick it up, put your hands on the inside, and you fix it up. You neaten things up. If you went too low, raise it up, kind of like this. Watch. Ready? Watch. Raise it up. Maybe I just did it a little too low, like that. You can actually just take this view. Watch. Okay, now that doesn't look right. That crease looks right. Okay. So the first time was right. It stopped. When I got to the end there, it stopped. It doesn't go further down. Let's try it again. Now, of course, this hat's been blocked, so the crease is in there, but it doesn't matter. It works the same way. In, out. Look from the bird's eye, stick your hand in, neaten it up. There you go. I'm going to raise the crown with 2 fingers like this, right at the point in here. Put my fingers inside. I'm going to just raise it a little bit, like, or lower it a little bit. Okay. The next step is to make the 2 pinches. What I like to do is first find the back. Even as a pro, I've pinched the wrong side before the back instead of the front. Everybody does it. It's a novice mistake. It's also not a novice mistake. Everyone does it. You could do it if you're distracted. I remember a lady was taking a video of me once, and I was handing it up for the stupid video, and then I creased the wrong size of somebody's hat, and I mailed it out. So that's like really bad. Everybody makes mistakes. So here's the thing. Find the inside by finding the bow. You could feel it without even looking at it. That's what this bow is for. So you're in a dark theater or something, you know where the back is. Oh yeah, there's the back. So I put it on this way. Okay, so when you feel it, you hear it, there's no bow. Like, oh, there's the front. Huh? Yeah, there's the bow. Back. So, another hand in like that. Alright, find the front of the hat. Here's creased hat, there's the front. I'm sure where the front is, the pinches go in the front. What I do, put my pick down. Okay, I'm going to take 2 fingers and I'm going to put it right inside in the middle there. Okay, so 2 fingers in there means it's going to be 2 fingers wide. It's like a 2 finger there. If you wanted like a tight pinch, you might have a 1 finger. Or a 3 finger or something. I like to do a 2. Yeah, most men have pretty wide fingers, so you put 2 in there and you try to touch the roof if you can. You might not be able to always, just go near the roof then. Okay, then you're going to grab it here on both sides like a lobster, but you're not grabbing at the very top. You just right on those pinches there, but a little below the top. So there's the top. You're going like a little lip, like a pencil width or something. You go down and you grab it. You find a little meat. You grab it under that meat. You go back. Right here, with my 2 fingers inside. I'm touching my fingers there. See, they're in there. See 2 fingers? Alright, now I go like this. Bam. Pull them back. Grab a little bit of meat right over here. So not the top, go a little down. Grab a little kind, and then just on both sides of these fingers in there, go wham, bring them back. Now, look from the bird's eye. This is the best clue, the best tip you can ever get. You want them both to go to the same area. You don't want one pinch super long, 1 pinch short. So what you do is, look from the bird's eye view. Usually we go a little too far. Put your fingers in there and just make the pinches. Put your finger and just push it forward so it's not going so far back. See? Watch. Watch over here. Finger goes in and I'm... You know what I'm saying? Move the pinch. So if it's way back there, you want to move back to the right area. Look from the bird's eye, make sure they're even. Okay. Look in the front, make sure you like the shape of this little chunk here. I like that to be a very specific kind of a shape. It's almost like a volcano or like a Close Encounters mountain kind of a thing. The shape of this little chunk in the front here, you see it? It's like a fleur-de-lis or a volcano shape. So it's kind of like a... Two fingers there. You want to go lower? Lower this. Tuck it into itself like this. One. Down. Down. Make it look pretty. Oops. You lowered the crown down. Or you could raise it up. Or you could lower it down. Everything looks good. Even, symmetrical, you're happy with it, hit it with some steam, steam it in, let it dry, don't touch it, let it cool and harden, or you can spray it with hairspray, but if you're going to do that, you have to dust it. You cannot have all this dust on the hat before you spray it, otherwise it gets sealed under like a little plastic window and the hat is always dusty forever. So you would have had to take packing tape, dust off the entire hat before you start. Generally, dusting is the first step. Take rolls of packing tape, make rings, ring, get all it off the brim, the underside of the brim, the crown, top of the crown, the edge, everything, even the edge. Getting it off of the band, it's better to use a brush and go upward with the grosgrain pattern there. See, the grosgrain ribbon has kind of like slots, so you go up. Take this one cord off just with brush. You can use tape too on there. I prefer to brush that part, but either way will work. Once the hat is completely dusted, then yeah, you could spray it with hairspray. Well, I mean, you shape it and then spray it. You know. But yeah, you can't forget to dust it if you want to use hairspray. Just get any kind of super hold, ultra hold, whatever their strongest kind is. It has to be an aerosol can. You can't get the type that's pump. I use Suave, I use Rave, and I use Aquanet. Test it, make sure it's coming out misty and not like splashy. Splashy's not good. You can even try it in a store, just like look around, nobody's looking. Cap off, just go. Comes in a nice mist, buy it. No mist, it's like, you know, like this splash, spray, like, don't get it. Generally, the little dots and little splashes, they do dry invisible too, but I don't care for it. I don't really like it. But anyway, making a center crease and 2 pinches, it's not the easiest thing. Everybody thinks it's real obvious and real easy. It's not. Just like, you know, singing a Grateful Dead song for the very first time. You know, you're going to mess up at least one part, you know. But the best thing is, you know, you got to try. And try it. Nobody's going to condemn you for doing it wrong. If you don't like it, try it again. It's just like singing a song. You can just keep practicing and practicing, and then when you like your, steam it in, spray it in, do whatever you want, or just don't do it and just start again, you know. My hats, I don't use spray or steam, I just shape them, I do what I want. These ones, teardrop it, take the teardrop out, I don't care, you know. They're soft, they're fine. These are beaters though. Generally, it's good to decide on one shape and go for it. Don't be wishy-washy, keep going back, because it does damage your hat and makes creases that you can't get out. So anyway, I'm going to say, his name is Kevin from JJ Hats. He's a man from the Hats. Kevin from JJ Hats. Under his cap.